In the Black Clover fandom, as of lately, there's been a huge debate about Lilith and Naamah, the supreme qliphoth devils, versus Zagred, the high-ranking devil from the last arc. People keep debating on who would win in a fight between them. While I do see most people on the side of Lilith and Naamah, I was surprised to still see that there's a lot of people who actually still think that Zagred is stronger than Lilith and Naamah. There's actually a large amount, even though I do think that the overall majority, from based on what I've seen, think that Lilith and Naamah are stronger. So I wanted to make this video to go over every single piece of evidence within the manga that will answer this question. Who would win in a fight between Lilith and Naamah and Zagred? Now I do realize that the reason Zagred is seemingly so powerful is because he was the first devil revealed, and it took a lot of people in a multitude of fights to finally take him down. Whereas Lilith and Naamah just got clapped by Devil Union Asta. Also, Zagred's magic is a lot cooler and more versatile, so I get it. Zagred can feel more powerful based on the context of the different fights. Right now, please comment down below who you think wins, and then if your mind has changed, comment down below again, or edit your comment and tell me your secondary thoughts. I do want to point out from the beginning that I do believe that Lilith and Naamah are stronger than Zagred, and that's not even close. I do want to admit that there is no direct statement of someone blatantly stating that Lilith and Naamah are stronger than Zagred, but there is a lot of context clues and implications in the narrative, and I want to go over those before I get into the more wordy power scaling and devil percentages of the sort. So my first point of evidence is that in nearly every shonen, the next villains from arc to arc will be stronger than the previous villains, and this is actually confirmed in volume 24 of the manga when Tabata states that the villains in the next arc will be stronger. Now while I admit this is a bit vague because there's a lot of villains in this arc, but as of right now the main villains are the Dark Triad, Dante, Vonica, and Zenon, as well as Lilith and Naamah. Possibly Morris as well, and then any other higher qliphoth devil that we will see. I would consider those the main villains, and the villains at the bottom means that villains that will be stronger than the previous arc, villains stronger than Zagred. I don't believe this statement applies to the 5% Spade Captain, the random Spade Soldiers, or the Dark Disciples, whether that be 40% or 50%. And so the next point of evidence for this, just building off of Tabata's statement, is the devil hierarchy and its ranking system. As of right now, there are 4 main ranks in the devil hierarchy. The lowest rank, called low-ranking devils. These devils are the most beast-like and the weakest ones. These are the ones that were easily obliterated by the Hard Squad when they arrived. The next rank up are the mid-ranking devils. They are much stronger than low-ranking devils, they are a bit more humanoid, these are the ones that Luck easily killed, and even Nox devils are called mid-rankers. Up next are high-ranking devils. Zagred is known as a high-ranking devil. And finally, the highest rank is the Supreme Devil, a devil of the highest order. These are devils known as Lilith, Naamah, Lucifero, Magicula, and Lucifugus. They are called Supreme Devils, or Devils of the highest order, or commonly called by the fandom as qliphoth devils. Zagred is not ever stated nor implied to be one of these type of devils, only a high-ranking devil. He is called this by Lucifero. He calls him a high-ranking devil. Now the devil world as a hierarchy is a system built on power, so if Lilith and Naamah are ranked above Zagred, they should be far stronger based on that very system, especially in regard to the difference between low and mid-rankers being so huge. The same should apply for high rankers and supreme rankers. Now a common argument used to try and negate this, the ranking system, is Zagred is a high-ranking devil on the strongest floor because Lucifero knows him. But Lilith and Naamah, they're supreme devils, but they're on the weakest floor. This means that the Zagred could be stronger because they are from a lower and stronger gate. Well, I first need to state that this is entirely headcanon. We cannot assume what gate Zagred is from. Just because Lucifero knows Zagred doesn't mean he's from that gate. Lucifero also knew and found Libe, the lowest ranking devil, from the highest and weakest gate. So if he knew of the lowest devil and the weakest gate, then he can know of Zagred, an actual high-ranking devil. And honestly, even if this is true, even if Zagred is a high ranker in Lucifero's gate, he would still not be a supreme devil of the highest order. He is not stated to be a qliphoth devil. A high ranker in the strongest gate is still a lesser rank than the strongest devil, a supreme devil, in the weakest gate. If Zagred was actually stronger than Lilith and Naamah, then why was he not made a qliphoth devil of supreme rank in one of those gates? It just would not make sense. So not only is this argument pure headcanon, but it doesn't logically follow. Now I want to break apart the fact of why people think Zagred is so strong. 1 is his magic type, 2 is him being smart, and 3 is him supposedly fighting an entire army of high-level magic knights. While Zagred's magic is versatile and strong, Word Soul magic allows him to warp reality in a sense, creating both physical matter and magic. But there's still limits to it. Yami and Charlotte discovered this, and it's kind of based on he has a range to his magic, and he has to instill mana within it. So if somebody has higher mana than him, then it's not going to be nearly as effective. Remember, he had the most mana in this arc. This is showed by Yami. If he has the most mana, then yeah, it's going to make his magic type seem way stronger because it's paired with the most mana. Now, Lilith and Naamah would have way higher mana, and they definitely have way higher mana. I say this because just their pure magic amount was so high that it made Nacht almost go crazy. A high-level character who can create Supreme Devil spells, it almost made him go crazy. Nobody else has done that. So his magic power pales in comparison to Lilith and Naamah, so his magic is not going to be as effective as it was against people with lesser mana than him. And also his trident, which breaks down whatever it touches, it really doesn't. If it broke down whatever it touches, then it would destroy the anti-magic in Asta's sword or destroy the sword itself, but it didn't do either. And now this is a physical trident. He can make physical objects. It's the same design as his physical objects he creates, and Asta destroyed it with an unrefined black divider. We'll get back to that later, but Lilith and Naamah's fire and ice are much more powerful. They are burning actual concepts. They are burning a world, which could mean universe, but burning a world of shadows, burning actual concepts. That is immeasurably above physical matter or magic. Remember, Asta destroyed this trident with his unrefined black divider, which was weaker than his actual black divider, and would be absolutely nothing to what he has now. And guys, Zagred never fought more than 3 people at once. He fought Asta and Yuno, then half awake licked Yami and Charla at once, then awake licked and Lumiere, then Asta and Yuno, and then at the end it was Yami, Asta, and Yuno's combo attack. Sure, Charla helped a little bit with healing Yami and preparing his attack, and then Sekra came in to heal, and Lumiere was aiding Yuno with a spell, but it was essentially Asta and Yuno doing all the work, fighting, and then Yami coming in with a Dimension Slash. So he never fought everybody at once. He fought Yuno and Asta the majority of the time, and that's kind of how it went. Sure, there was multiple parts and pieces, but it was never everybody at once. Now, one of the main arguments I see is that Zagred is smart and Lilith and Naamah are dumb, but I don't really buy this one. Zagred is a great schemer, sure, but as for battle smarts, not really. He could have won the battle at many different points and chose not to. He knew that Asta's anti-magic could kill him, and yet he chose to keep him around multiple times instead of just killing him. This is plain old stupidity. He massively underestimated the humans. He let a devil host with a 5-leaf clover grimoire and anti-magic survive, and that came back to bite him in the ass. So I don't really buy that he is a huge battle strategist, and that is why he would overcome Lilith and Naamah. The gap would be so huge, it just doesn't make sense. Now I'm going to break this into the middle of the video and say just, if you do enjoy and you're at this moment, please do leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. That would be very much appreciated because this is going to take a long time to edit this video. Now, if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty with scaling, it really makes the overall picture look so much worse. We have to use Asta scaling from the Elf arc, comparatively to Dante and then Lilith and Naamah, to get the picture and show the massive scaling gap here. A really important thing, and this is just fact, guys, there is no debate here, Asta in the Elf arc was relative to Zagred. Zagred was stronger, yes, but Asta was relative. Once he had his 2-horn black form and black divider, it was relative. Because when it comes to power scaling, the main things you go over is your attack potency, how much damage you do, your durability, how much damage you can take, and your combat speed. So if you look at just what Asta could do against Zagred, he took several attacks from Zagred and was okay. So that's relative durability. He was able to damage Zagred, which shows that attack potency, yes. And even his unrefined black divider could destroy the physical object of the trident. So again, it's you say, well, anti-magic counters everything. Well, it doesn't counter physical strength or physicals, but it destroyed the trident, which is physical. And that was unrefined black divider. And then combat speed, I want to show images of him parrying the leeches from Zagred's magic. That's his spells, and he's parrying it, so he's parrying his attacks. He also lands hits on him. And so yes, in every single aspect of the important aspects of fighting, Asta is relative to Zagred, and this is a much weaker version of Asta from even just the version against base Dante. Then you have Berserk Asta. Well, then you have Devil Arm Asta. Then you have Full Stamina Devil Arm Asta. Then you have Devil Union Asta. There is so many stronger versions. If he was Devil Union now against Zagred, Zagred wouldn't even be able to react to him. That's a huge difference. Against a much stronger version of Asta, 50% Dante killed him in one blow. He had to be saved by Rouge, the Cat of Fate. Again, Dante one-shotted a much stronger Asta, when Zagred couldn't do that to a weaker Asta. This shows that even 50% Dante is far stronger than Zagred. We already know that Dante is far faster, since Asta couldn't even hit a base Dante while he was using his 2-horn black form with a much bigger black divider. Dante would then go to 60%, and Asta with his Berserk form would hold his own until Dante actually started to try. Then Dante went to 80%, then used his body magic. And remember, among the triad, a 1% increase in devil power is a huge increase. And yet, a stamina depraved, devil arm Asta was able to react and parry attacks from this version of Dante. So Dante was able to do much better against this version of Asta that is much stronger than the version that Zagred faced. Asta's unrefined Black Divider broke Zagred's trident, which is a physical weapon. Yet Dante's swords stood the bout as Asta's could not destroy them. 80% Dante is above Zagred. Now after losing to Asta and Yami, Dante would get an amp from Morris and then gain access to his 100% devil mana. And despite seeing 100% Dante, Lilith and Naamah wanted to play with him. Now some people will say that they were scared of him and said it would get messy, but you remember that they said that it would get messy because that Dante was Lucifero's toy, not their toy. Meaning they didn't want to piss off Lucifero, not because they were scared of Dante. This means Lilith and Naamah are likely above 100% Dante, and guys, we already know they are way above the 80% Dante, because when they came and they were not even near their full power, Nacht said, I thought the Dark Triad and the first level qliphoth devils would be the same power. But nope, they are on a completely different level. So, Lilith and Naamah way above 80% Dante, and likely above 100% Dante because they wanted to play with them as a toy. Now I'll continue this power scaling chain before discussing Nacht and his power. So Lilith and Naamah would then get clapped by a Devil Union Asta, and remember, they didn't try at all against Nacht, but they tried against Devil Union Asta. Before Lilith and Naamah would then fuse to create a very strong devil. Asta would still react and parry her attacks, and he was overall stronger. This caused the need for the fusion Lilith to flee, and Asta could not catch her. He needed Nacht's shadow magic to capture her to finish her off. This version of Asta's speed was an issue for Zagred, but Devil Union Asta, who would make that Asta look like fodder, couldn't catch Supreme Lilith? Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you, but Zagred gets clapped here, guys. The speed advantage is ridiculous, the overall power advantage is massive, and the ability to burn or freeze concepts far surpasses just breaking down things with a trident. And remember, that's his trident. This is their just baseline ability. Zagred has to pull out the trident, and doesn't seem to have any sort of range. He has to bring you in close to use it. Now, if you add in Nacht scaling, it really only makes this more damning. Remember that this version of Asta scales, while weaker, still relative to an 80% Dante who is way above Zagred. Then Asta fights Nacht at his full stamina in the same Devil Arm form, and gets absolutely clapped by Nacht over and over again for days. Above this, Nacht has Mana Zone on top of his Devil Union, which is stated to be a many times multiplier in the guidebook, and he also has Double Devil Union, which amplifies his power greatly above that. He then creates a spell of the Supreme Devil class, again, above Zagred, something Zagred has not done. He has not created a Supreme Devil class because he is not a Supreme Devil. And they still, while just messing around, easily negate and destroy the spell and cucked out a Double Devil Union Nacht. Again, Supreme Devil spell is above Zagred, and they easily destroyed it while playing around. No, Lilith and Naamah are not losing to Zagred, especially not in a fusion. We have to remember the power difference here. Asta's unrefined Black Divider could destroy the trident, and it rendered Lumiere's magic useless for a period of time. Yet, a much stronger Black Divider from a Devil Union Asta, while it did cut off Naamah's arm, it didn't come close to sapping his magic. Asta's first Black Divider was cutting through Zagred like butter, and now is using a much stronger one against Lilith and Naamah. Now the main and strongest counterpoint I have seen for Zagred being stronger than Lilith and Naamah is that the Heart Queen Lord Pachika stated that Magicula was probably stronger than Zagred. A lot of people take this statement as a fact, but this means that they are at least close in power, since she said probably, which would mean that they probably were close, and they use this and they say that since Magicula is likely a much higher qliphoth devil than Lilith and Naamah, that means Zagred would be stronger than the twins. But no, we have to remember that Laura was making this assumption only based off of her seeing a base Vonika's pre-time skip power used against her when cursed. Vonika got way stronger over the time skip, and at 100% should be weaker than the qliphoth devils. All this statement is Lord Pachika seeing how strong a devil host for Magicula would be, and then estimating that Magicula would be stronger than Zagred. She has never seen Magicula's power, only a pre-time skip base Vonika. Now I'm not going to state that base Vonika beats Zagred because of this one statement. The whole point of this video is just to show that all evidence points toward Lilith and Naamah being stronger devils than Zagred. This is based on author statements, the devil ranking system, feats, and power scaling. Overall, so that's why I think that Lilith and Naamah would beat Zagred. I don't think it would be close, and I really don't think you can even use the Fusion Devil as an argument whatsoever. You have to remember, guys, that when Lilith and Naamah fused, Nox said it wasn't just 1+1. So that means that Lilith is like, has at least got 2 times stronger, faster, more durable. It's more than that, but the power was so strong that it made Nacht thought he was gonna go crazy. That's insane. That's insane. We've never had that before. So yeah, Lilith and Naamah, they collapse Zagred, and Fusion Lilith just should. I don't get how it's even an argument, but let me know your guys' thoughts down below, and if I change your opinion, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, join my Discord. I would also love to give a shout out to Polsky Art for making another amazing commission thumbnail for me. I love this thumbnail of Lilith clapping Zagred, because guys, that would happen. Now it's gonna be really funny if, you know, I do all this video and then all of a sudden we get a statement along the lines that Zagred is stronger than these qliphoth devils, but honestly I think that would be bad scaling for Tabata for him to put all this in here. He's never had something like really this weird. His only other really weird scaling that he's done for power progression in Black Clover is Julius. Julius should have been able to just effortlessly catch Pottery. I think that would be a really weird scaling for Tabata if he did this, that's just why I think that this is not going to happen, but it is possible. That'd be really funny. I'll take all the heat if I'm wrong, but it really just, all of it adds up. Lilith and Naamah would collapse Zagred. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...